Welcome to the Family Geekery Podcast, a podcast for geeks from a family of geeks. We talk about comics, video games, and anything else geeky. I'm Amber.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're talking about our 10-year-old Christmas wish lists.
Are those?
Wow, that is a tongue twister.
These are our wish lists from 10 years ago?
No,
That's why they're 10
from
years
when
old?
we were 10 years old.
Okay, we'll explain that later.
Yes, we will. But first...
Geeky Weeks.
Danny's back.
I am back. Hello.
Did you do your homework?
I did do my homework. I never knew what the homework was.
Did you do both your homeworks?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Did you play Marvel Rivals?
I did.
You're supposed to give us your thoughts and who you're playing right now.
I only played one game.
Oh.
I played Mantis because I played the tutorial for a bit to learn some of the characters and stuff, and I was confused. There's just a lot of buttons and a lot of combos that you can do with other characters and stuff, and the easiest one that I thought of was Mantis, so I played Mantis and we won and I did well. So
nice.
That's my girl. Minimum amount of work to complete the task.
Mantis is really strong.
Yeah, I kind of just hit buttons and my team stayed alive.
Yep. That's what you do.
Just like Overwatch. Except sometimes they don't stay alive.
I heard people talking about Marvel Rivals out in the wild this week.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah. The guy said, hey, it's just like Overwatch was when it first launched, but better.
Yeah, the but better is the real ringer.
And then I heard someone else say, I'm not really into that superhero stuff, so I didn't even try it out.
Wow.
That's fair enough.
Lame.
That's fair enough. I mean, if superheroes aren't your thing. And I heard it may be backlash from, is there a game released not too long ago by DC that was, what was their superhero team?
Justice League,
and the other one, Suicide Squad. I think the game was like Suicide Squad kills the Justice League or something like that. And they took all these, DC characters with specific abilities and just gave them all guns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So at least with Marvel, they're not just all guns. It's like guns and then other things that project out of your hands.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Why don't you go ahead and finish out your Geeky Week then, since we got you on the hook?
Well, I've also been playing some OG Fortnite.
OG.
Last December, they came out with the OG Fortnite map and everything, so they did it again this December. So it's like original Fortnite battle royale, no cars.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, it's fun. I got my Billie Eilish skin. It's a fun time. I hopped on some League of Legends last night.
What?
My last game was in April. It's been a while. But that was fun. I like the new Arcane skins and all that. Oh, I'm on season 2 of Arcane.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. I watched a few movies. One of them being the FNAF movie again.
Was it any better or any worse the second time?
Nope. About the same.
About the same.
And then I watched this comedic horror movie. I forget the name, but basically the plot was there's these guys who live in the woods and these teenagers are scared they're going to kill them, but they're so scared they're going to kill them that they accidentally kill themselves one by one.
What?
That sounds great.
It was a great movie. It was really funny.
That sounds good.
Yeah. You'll have to find that title for us.
Yeah, I'll search it up while someone else does their geeky weeks. That's it for me.
Nice.
All right, Amber, you up?
Okay, so I did a lot of playing Marvel Rivals. Still playing Cloak and Dagger. Still playing Psylocke. Also picked up Mantis. Still waiting for Dazzler.
What if it was Cloak
I
and Dazzler?
watched. Whoa. I watched the Game Awards, and I'm happy that Astrobot won because I didn't want a DLC or a remake to win. So good for Astrobot. I do feel bad for the like Legend Wukong people because like I was the first time like a Chinese game developer was up for Game of the Year. And I saw a TikTok that one of the developers was like crying afterwards, so I felt bad. But that's okay. Astrobot's cute. Kind of sad that Arcane didn't win, but Fallout won for best adaptation. So I'm fine with that. I liked that show. I watched a couple of movies. I watched the Sabrina Carpenter Christmas special. It was really cheesy, but pretty good for a Christmas special.
That's how all Christmas specials are. They're supposed to be extra cheesy.
Yeah. It was kind of meta. She was like, who does Christmas comedy specials? Everybody. Who does Christmas comedy specials, musical specials with celebrity guests? Also everybody. So it was kind of funny. And then I also watched on Netflix Subservience, which is that new movie with Megan Fox about robots. And it's basically what you'd expect about a movie with Megan Fox as a robot.
Oh, she's the robot.
She is the robot.
I was going to say,
so
she was
watch
already
at your
in
own
the movie with
discretion.
robots.
It's an adult movie. And a pretty simple concept, but I enjoyed it. So
cool.
Yeah.
I've found the movie.
Nice.
It's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
Sounds classic.
It's really funny. It's a good laugh.
I have to put that on my watch list.
Oh, it's from 2010. It's got Alan Tudyk in it.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm done.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't know if you were waiting for permission to speak.
No, I thought you were queuing up
You
the
have
movie.
permission.
Oh, yeah, let me just watch it real quick.
We're going to do watch it.
Give us a quick hour and a half.
And we're back. Let's see.
What'd you think?
I think both of you guys forgot that we went to King's Dominion this week.
Oh, that's right.
No, I wrote it down. I just didn't want to talk.
Oh.
We went to King's Dominion a few days ago, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winterfest.
They got their Winterfest going. Very, very pretty. All the lights and the Christmas trees and all that good stuff. A little chilly, but as long as you double jacket up, you're good to go.
I picked out some merch that I'm going to get on New Year's Eve if it's on sale.
Scoping out the
Which one?
merch.
The mugs.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was able to wear the shirt that I got last year on New Year's Eve for on sale. So it worked out.
Is that the first wearing of it?
Yep.
There you go.
In public, at least, yeah.
Cool. So we did that. I didn't do much other playing than just my normal satisfactory playing. And I spent the whole week building a factory. And you just can't understand the scope of this game. I'd have to show you a screenshot to get an idea of the scope. But basically, I spent the whole week building a factory to build one item. And that one item isn't even like an end game item. Like that one item is needed for other things that are needed for other things that are needed for other things to make an end game item.
Wow.
So if you can imagine, like, think about being in Minecraft, and if you're in creative mode or whatever, where you can fly above. Mm-hmm. Imagine being in creative mode, because now I have a hover pack or something. so I can get up above the factory. And imagine looking as far as your field of view can go and still being more buildings of your factory just to make this one item. That's what
Wow.
I'm working with right now. So yeah, that's time consuming, but it's fun. I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of that one.
I'm surprised Satisfactory wasn't up for any awards. But I guess it's been in like early access for years, huh?
Yeah. It's kind of hard for a game that's been around that long just because they launch at 1.0 to make an impact, but I always get just amazed by some of the other factories that show up on Reddit and stuff. Like how did they do that? Like they're using bits and pieces I haven't even imagined are available yet. So so it's kind of neat to know, but it's also kind of daunting to know that you're nowhere near the end.
Right.
But like I said, getting my money's worth, building factories. And yeah, that's about it. Got a busy shooting schedule ahead of me this week for YouTube, so kind of gearing up for that.
Let's get to the meat of this podcast now.
Let's do it.
The meat of it. The beefy thumb of it.
So I'll give the intro concept of what this is.
Yes.
And I'm going to give full credit to fellow podcast extraordinaires, Get Played, because they had a recent episode that they called their holiday draft.
Be our friends. Become friend of the podcast.
It's a one-sided friendship right now.
Yeah.
But their holiday draft, basically, they drafted a year, and then from that year that they drafted, they picked 5 items, video game-related items, whether they're consoles or games, that they would want to get under their Christmas tree that year. And there's no money limit. It's just if you got everything that you wished for that year, the 5 things that you wished for that year. So the caveat is, of that year, it had to be something that was available that year and in the stores. So not something that was sold 10 years before that year, and not something that was sold after that year. So if you select a console that's being sold that year, you can't pick a game that was sold years after the launch. So it was a fun episode to listen to, but it didn't really make sense to me to draft a year. So what we decided, because they kept on talking about how, hey, put yourself in the mindset that you're a 10-year-old and you're getting everything that you wanted. Well, I just said, let's just do this. Let's just make it that we are 10-year-olds, and that's the year that we're picking. So we don't have to draft a year. We're just picking our 5 items from the Christmas year that we are 10 years old. So the same rules apply. You pick a console or consoles. If you pick games, you have to have a console to play those games. So you have to pick that first. And it has to be something that's available to purchase, like your mom and dad have just driven down to Sears or Best Buy or whatever the store was of your time period and bought this thing and then bought the other things to go with it, or bought these multiple things. Does that make sense?
So you're not going to get mad that we're picking things that you didn't get us, for our 10th Christmas.
I wanted to make a disclaimer that nothing that we say means that we weren't happy with our 10-year-old Christmas.
I think that might have been the year I got an American Girl doll, so I was definitely happy.
Yeah. The other thing is we're using knowledge that we have now to make these decisions, and that's what makes it interesting, because there's things that are in this virtual store of my 10-year-old youth that I didn't even know existed back then.
Right.
Because if it wasn't in the Sears catalog or in the Toys R Us catalog, I didn't know it existed. There wasn't the internet. There wasn't that kind of stuff. So yes, that's the disclaimer. Nobody's going to get upset. We're not setting ourselves up for making our parents of that time frame upset that they didn't give us these things, because really it's an unrealistic ask to say unlimited money.
Right.
But
especially when we're talking video games.
and money doesn't mean happiness. You know,
Exactly.
that you might have gotten something that was cheap that made you just as happy. So we'll do this in
American
a
Girl dolls are not cheap.
no,
Thank you, mother.
yeah. Well, I'm glad we're not buying American Girl dolls anymore. That was fun. It was a what's the word I'm looking for? Hearty,
Experience.
not hearty. Wholesome's the word.
Also-
Hearty is like soup. It was a very soupy experience. It was a
Doll soup.
wholesome gift. I do like the stories and the movies that went with them.
Agree.
But
we'll do our American Girl doll episode
we'll do
another
our
time.
American Girl draft next Christmas. If I could have only got yeah. So we're gonna do this round robin, just like opening presents. So we start with the youngest,
Round robin,
and we work our
So
way
that's me?
through. Yep. So we start.
Are we
with the youngest.
doxing our ages?
yeah.
Okay. Surprise. I was 10 in 2014. Do the math.
Surprise. It was a surprise to me too, Danny.
I thought you were 12 years old this year.
Yeah, I'm not 12. Anyways, my list goes from like least wants to basically most wanted /
You
probably
ranked yours.
Well, we're gonna go one item at a time, round robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm starting with my least, which is Super
Super Smash.
Super Smash Bros. 4 on the 3DS.
Whoa.
And I never really played Super Smash Bros. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So maybe if I started young, I'd be a lot better at Super Smash Bros. Now.
On the DS. Wow. No, I think if you wanted to be good, you'd have to go all the way back to the GameCube days.
How would you get the second player to play with you on the? I guess there's link cables.
DS had really good online stuff.
Yeah, just not. I mean, I think of that as being one of the ultimate couch co-op games. But
for the regular 3DS, Danny.
I think it said 3DS.
Okay.
It might have said something else.
3DS XL?
Maybe.
Well, the game will play on any of those.
Yeah. Whichever was the newest in 2014.
Nice.
Cool. So Super Smash Bros. 4. All right.
Cool.
Amber, you're next.
So mine won't make a whole lot of sense if I picked 4 games for the same one console. So I'll tell you I'll start with the console.
Let's go.
I want under the Christmas tree a 3DS, which was released in March 2011. So that's when I was 10 years old. It was 2011.
Wow.
Probably would have been a better Christmas present or a birthday present for me because it came out like really soon before my birthday. So yeah, I want a 3DS, and I don't think I ever had a 3DS in real life. I think you had some like 3DS XLs that you just were like, here, I've got an extra one, and you want to play Fire Emblem? Here you go, child. So I don't think I ever experienced the 3DS on my own as a kid, unless like friends had it, and I think all my friends who had it hated it. So
some people really loved the 3D effects. Some people didn't. Good thing was that you could turn them off.
Yeah.
And it would just be a DS at that point. But yeah, I think we definitely had the 3DS XL. I'm not sure if I had one before that.
I have one right here.
Yeah, wow. Looks familiar.
This is the new 3DS XL.
Oh, that's a good one. That's the one that will play Minecraft.
I do all my gaming on this thing, all of it. I don't play PC games at all. Who am I?
All right, so starting with the 3DS. The OG smaller version.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So I'm drafting from 1983, which, if you're in North America, is in the middle of the crash of the video game industry.
Oof.
Well, that's what they call it, but I never really experienced it. Of course, I wasn't tracking business trends and earning reports and stuff as a 10-year-old.
You weren't selling games, you were playing them.
Yeah. But this is after basically Atari kind of started getting
Fell
unpopular and before the Nintendo Entertainment System. So I think in Japan, they had the Famicom, which is the same thing, just different plastic outers. But it didn't make it to the States until a couple years later. So I was not ready for the NES under the tree. So there was some other ones that kind of were better than the Atari 2600, but not quite to the Nintendo yet. And in this time frame, the best one would be the ColecoVision.
ColecoVision.
Have you heard of the ColecoVision?
Nope.
Coleco or Clico?
Coleco, Coleco.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So Coleco is what's that? What's that word that I used a couple months ago and sounded so smart, but now I don't remember it. Where you mash,
It's not wholesome.
where you mash, yeah, it's hearty, where you mash letters together to make a word.
Oh,
It's one of those for Connecticut Leather Company. So it's a leather company up in Connecticut, which got into the toy business to mass produce Cabbage Patch dolls.
What?
But then they saw the writing on the wall and got into digital entertainment also. So they made this video game system, cartridge based, and the graphics on it much better than Atari 2600. A lot more true to life to the actual arcade games. So during this time period, you get arcade games which are much higher quality than anything you can play at home. But now we're starting to kind of catch up where the home systems like the ColecoVision, which was bundled with, here's the bonus, it came with Donkey Kong.
Whoa!
So
how'd they get that?
I'm starting off with a system, and I got a game already. I'm playing games. You guys are just staring at your silly thing, trying to set the date on your thing, trying to set the date and create your avatar on your system.
Hey, that's the most fun part.
And I'm jumping barrels, baby. So ColecoVision, lock it in.
All right.
Back to you, Danny.
All right. Next on the list is Little Big Planet 3 on PlayStation 4.
Nice.
Whoa.
Which
was that
I
a
think
launch
I played.
title? That might have been a launch title for the PlayStation 4.
Like the
Probably.
PlayStation 4 didn't come out yet?
No, I mean the launch title would be something that came out at the same time as the launch of the machine.
Yeah. I think so, because wasn't he like the face? Like Little Big Planet was like the face of PlayStation for a bit?
Yeah. Started with the PlayStation 3, so it would make sense that they would launch with something of that with the 4.
Did they not launch that with Spider-Man? Or did they launch the special ones with Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 2 also came out in 2014.
That was probably a different Spider-Man 2. That would have been maybe Amazing Spider-Man or that might have been the original ones. But cool. Little Big Planet. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Another one that you can couch co-op with. Have your friends over. Have your family over.
Put stickers on the walls.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, Amber.
The first game that I want for Christmas is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I did actually have for the PlayStation, not the PlayStation. What? For the 3DS XL. I did eventually start playing it on there. But I played it as like a 16-year-old and got stuck immediately. So I don't know if 10-year-old me would have had the best time, especially when I didn't really know what the internet was. The only thing I was doing on the internet was playing Movie Star Planet. So I don't know if I could have looked up. Actually, no. We were looking up guides for Pop Tropica, so maybe I would have looked up guides for Ocarina of Time. But that's a real life game that I liked. So I would have liked it to play it, original.
Nice.
And it was probably cheaper than when I got it also.
I don't think they were
Because
ever
those
cheap.
DS games, man, they are pricey.
Good thing you're getting everything on your list with no money involved.
Exactly. Oh, but they're pricey now. I wonder what Ocarina of Time's selling for right now at a GameStop.
I don't know.
Because all the Pokemon games are, whew,
What's GameStop?
come on.
My parents are buying stuff at Sears right now. That's all we got. All we got is Sears. If it's not at Sears, we're out of luck. No video game stores. All right, so back to me.
Yep.
All right, so I had to get a game for my ColecoVision because Donkey Kong's fun, but it'll eventually wear out. So I'm going to screen share something real quick. Here is the system.
Oh.
Okay.
You see the controller.
You got numbers.
Yeah. Very, very similar to the Intellivision had the same thing where you could put overlays over those numbers to do different things. But the controller itself, the joystick itself, looks like it would lend itself very well to the game that I picked, and that game is Time Pilot.
Oh.
So Time Pilot, if you've played it in the arcades, the joystick is never in the middle, right? The joystick is, you never have the joystick in the middle. It's always on the circumference of your rotation of the joystick. So this joystick looks like it would be epic for Time Pilot. Now it's also a button smasher, and I'm not really digging the buttons on this thing. It looks like you would give yourself carpal tunnel trying to shoot down a lot of planes, but but yeah, looks like it'd be fun, and I think the Time Pilot port for this would be pretty close to arcade quality.
Nice.
All right. Back to Danny.
All right, number 3. Wii Sports Club on the Wii U.
Where are your consoles, Danny?
What?
You're asking for a whole bunch of games you can't play.
What do you mean? That is the console. Wii.
Oh, so you're going Wii U.
You're getting 5 games, 5 consoles?
I thought that was the thing. We pick a game and a console.
Oh, you're doubling up.
We got infinitely richer when Danny turns 10.
Danny playing with advanced rules.
I thought
Danny learned hacks. She did motherload.
I thought we picked a game and then had to associate with the console that came out around the same time.
But I said you had to draft a combination of games and consoles.
Well, how do I play the Wii Sports Club without my Wii U?
You're gonna have to ask for less games.
All right, we'll let she's the youngest of the group, so she'll get
It's okay,
spoiled.
you don't
Wait
get
till my
smashed.
number 5.
Oh no!
Here, you can just get Smash for the Wii U instead. You can get Smash.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came out in 2014, but you can get that one. There was one on the Wii U. You can just wait a couple of years.
Well, my next one's also on the PlayStation, so
Okay, then you're good.
my number 5 is. Well, I want to play my Wii Sports.
Okay.
We have Wii Sports at home.
All right, Amber.
So there's not a DS experience without a Nintendogs, and on the 3DS there's Nintendogs and Cats.
Ooh, a combo.
And I know how much I had fun with Nintendogs on my boring old DSi, so I can only imagine how fun the dogs and cats would be in 3D.
Nice.
Done deal.
Throw the little toy out there with your stylus.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going back to screen share here, so you can experience this. So we got our ColecoVision. And remember,
Yes.
we're playing with the knowledge that we have today that we might not have had back then. Did not know ColecoVision had expansion module number 1, which allows this thing to play. Look, you got another cartridge slot here to play Atari 2600 games. Now,
Oh.
even if I don't draft any Atari 2600 games, I'm setting myself up for the future for going garage sailing because I know I can get some cheap games to play on that thing because they just crashed, right? So people are going to be dumping those games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool that they would. It's kind of unheard of. Imagine if you would today go down to GameStop and say, "Hey, I'd like to get the Xbox expansion for my PlayStation, please." Or even worse, I'd like to get a Nintendo expansion for my PlayStation. Like Nintendo would never do something like that.
That's so funny.
So I think this was all based on the fact that Atari, and one of the reasons Atari kind of messed up was they didn't have a whole lot of protection. They didn't have actually any protection on their hardware and their games.
Oh.
So that's why so many third parties made games for them, and those games were horrible. And that's why Nintendo has, I don't know if you've ever seen the Nintendo seal of quality. It's a little gold seal that they put on their stuff. That's because nobody could make a Nintendo cartridge unless they stamped their seal of approval on it and paid them to manufacture it. Like Nintendo manufactured the cartridges because it was proprietary technology that nobody could do. So the fact that Atari didn't have those protections, somebody could just make an adapter and start playing their games on their system. So I'm set up.
Wait, so was Nana into garage sales back then too?
Of course.
I just want to make sure we're realistic here.
Yeah.
In your Atari 2600 endeavors.
We're going garage selling.
Okay.
So expansion module number 1. That's my third pick. Back
Good
to
one.
Danny with her unlimited. She just asked the genie for unlimited wishes.
Hey.
And it somehow worked.
And it worked.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, at least this one, number 4, is actually something I'm pretty sure I got for Christmas 2014. And that's Disney Infinity, PS4,
Nice.
or whatever console we played it on.
We played it on basically every console.
I'm pretty sure like that was the first Christmas it was out. So
Fun.
I remember getting just a bunch of presents in the same shaped box. Like, that's a Disney Infinity character.
Nice.
That is good. That's a good game.
Yeah.
And now we look at pops like that.
We had tons of fun.
Like, oh, that's a pop-shaped box.
Yep.
All right, Amber. What are we playing with from your presents?
I want Disney Infinity 3 years in advance. Now, if Danny can cheat, so can I. My next pick is Harvest Moon 3D Tale of Two Towns. Because, well, there's no Pokemon game. There's no mainstream Pokemon game for the 3DS yet, I don't think. There was one, like, weird Pokemon game. So anyways, I need a nice game that I can sink a bunch of hours into and just chill, right? And that is Harvest Moon. I know I played a couple of Harvest Moon games when I was a kid. And this is before Stardew Valley is out. So gotta get my farming kick somewhere.
Now, do you know if this is Harvest Moon before or after they got bought out?
I believe it's before.
Okay.
I believe they didn't get bought out until, like, just a few years ago.
Gotcha. Because now they're like Season of Sorrows or something.
Season of
Harvest.
I don't know.
Something. Well, cool.
Haven't played any of their new games. Sorry.
That'd be a good, cozy game.
It would.
All right, we're going back to screen share.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's the only way you can envision these things here. All right. So ColecoVision had expansion module number 1, which I have just unboxed. Did you know that they had expansion module number 2?
No
Look at
way.
this
That's
thing.
so funny.
Look
Wow.
at this thing. This is full-blown steering wheel. It looks like that might be a pedal on the right.
Yeah, do you pedal with your hand
I don't
and
know.
steer with your left hand?
Maybe.
That sounds difficult.
No, you use your foot. You
Or
put
do
your
you,
foot
or
up
do you
there.
sit? Do you sit like a frog?
It's a full-on Coleco yoga studio. If you do,
No. I wonder if it comes
if it pops out,
because the controllers look like they
and
pop out.
it's got a little squirrely cable for it,
Yeah,
possibly.
that's what it looks like.
But this thing comes bundled with. Wait for it.
No way.
Wait for it. The arcade classic Turbo.
No.
Yes. And
What?
and old Chris wants to play Turbo at home with a steering wheel. So this thing just blew my mind that it existed. Didn't know it existed. Good old ColecoVision.
Wow.
As soon as Nintendo came to town, Coleco packed up. But I think they could have gone toe to toe.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right. We are playing some games. Back to Danny.
What's your number one, Danny?
Okay, well, I realized I don't know if this counts as a console. I'm breaking
Okay,
the
we already know
rules.
you broke the rules.
But this game came out in September of 2014, and we already had it before Christmas, but this is hypothetical. We didn't get it, and that's The Sims 4. And my console is a PC, so you spending big bucks this Christmas.
We didn't have PCs back then, Danny. We had laptops.
Yeah, we had laptops about to
We
blow
had
up.
little crappy laptops that we played Minecraft on and downloaded viruses on.
Speaking of, there's this TikTok of this person cooking an egg using a laptop running Sims 3.
Nice.
It's good. It's good.
Anyways,
Get a Mac to run Sims 3. You got dinner for weeks.
but yeah,
Nice.
Sims 4,
Well,
good game. We had
that's-
it before Christmas though.
we did. We bought it immediately. Though by Christmas there might have been DLC.
Yeah.
I feel like there might have been the first game pack by then. Which we also got immediately. I probably asked for that for Christmas. Anyways, very fitting of my final wish list item is on the 3DS, The Sims 3 Pets.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I like the Sims games on the DS's. I think we played a lot of The Sims 2 on the DS. So Sims 3 Pets, what's better? Like I said, we had crappy laptops that we were playing The Sims on. Can't bring those crappy laptops out and about. Can bring a 3DS out and about.
There you go. Road trip.
So, road trip with The Sims 3 Pets. And The Sims 3 was also out. They had The Sims 3 out pretty soon after the 3DS was released, but The Sims 3 Pets came out in November of 2011. So, or October, somewhere in there. So, more recent, and it's not The Sims without the pets for me.
That's right. It's a shame they ever separated those
I know.
money hungry people. All right. Number one.
Number one.
I had to get a little practical here. I got a lot of games to play. But 10-year-old Chris, I think, only had one TV in the house. And if I got all these games, but Dad's watching a rerun of Murder, She Wrote or something, I guess it wouldn't be reruns back then. It would have been...
Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver.
What's the Beaver show he likes?
Or MASH or one of those classic shows.
Black and white TV shows. Or what if Nana's watching The Waltons?
Or the news.
Or the news.
Yeah. If the news is on...
And what if Pam is on MTV?
Pam's in a room listening to music on earphones. But Chris isn't playing games, I guess is the gist of it. So I've got one shot here. And luckily they had a video game system called the Vectrex. Have you ever heard of the Vectrex? Don't worry.
No.
I'm about to screen share it. This is a gaming console that came with a 9-inch by 11-inch vertical CRT monitor built into it.
That's big.
Yeah, and it's called the Vectrex because it's vector graphics. So vector graphics, if you go to the arcade and you look at something like Asteroids or Star Wars or any of the games that have kind of like the, it's all like line-based and not raster graphics. That's what this is. So it's vector-based, basically arcade quality stuff right at home with a built-in monitor. And this was a console that you could buy. In fact, after a while, you can see the little MB on the corners of both the console and the controller. Milton Bradley started making it for them. They rebranded it by Milton.
Who's that?
Milton Bradley. Oh, okay. Basically, one of the biggest toy companies of the time. So equivalent to like a Hasbro.
I only know Hasbro.
Yeah, so equivalent to like a Hasbro. So this is a complete system that came with a game called Mindstorm. It came bundled with Mindstorm, and Mindstorm is basically their version of Asteroids.
Oh.
So if I've got to wait for the TV to be free to play some Turbo, I'm playing some Mindstorm on the Vectrex.
Nice.
And that's our Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Better start saving up.
Yeah. I can't imagine what the Vectrex sold for, considering it's basically a TV included with it.
Wow.
Kind of crazy. But I still see those for sale, like eBay and stuff.
How much do they sell for now on eBay?
It's not as much as what I'd think it would be. More than a Nintendo
200?
DS. Probably more than that. I just can't imagine the maintenance on them if something breaks, though.
For real.
Finding somebody that still knows how to fix TVs. But cool. Was that fun?
It was fun.
It was fun.
I like seeing what came out.
I wish there was a more exciting console that came out in 2011.
I had some good ones.
Yeah, I think the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 both launched in like 2000.
Like 2012.
I think it was like 2013. Yeah.
Dang. I guess I could have looked for like 2010 stuff, but no, I want the fresh, the new.
Well, you can't go wrong with a 3DS. All right, so that completes our Christmas list. But we do want to wish, since it is the holiday season, wish all of our listeners a happy and safe holidays.
Heck yeah.
Whatever it is that you celebrate it with your friends, celebrate it with your families. Have a time for sharing, a time for loving, and be good to each other.
Yeah.
You only get one life. Not like video games where you get cheat codes.
Dang it.
These
And
nuts.
save scums. have a safe scummy Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
No, but from our family of geeks to your family, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. All right, any final thoughts before we close this one out?
Cut all that.
Nope.
Thank goodness for editing. We'd like to say a special thanks to our editors this time of year.
Yeah.
Taking time
Thanks,
out of their
Chris.
busy schedule to edit these podcasts,
Chris.
as they sometimes get derailed towards the end.
We're giving him a Christmas bonus.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to thank you as always for listening to our podcast. Go ahead and check out our socials. Check out our YouTube channel. Give us a shout out. Tell us what you would want for Christmas as a 10-year-old if there was money was no object, and apparently if there's no rules that need to be followed. But thank you as always for listening. I already said that. Until next time. Peace out.
out.
And geek
geek
out.
out.
Geek out.
Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time. Peace out and geek out.